Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and this is the Walking Dead Q&A video you guys have been asking for a while. We used to do these a lot. We took a break. I had to move, and now we're getting back into these, the comic, Fear the Walking Dead. But for this video, it's going to be only the TV show. No comic, no Fear the Walking Dead questions, just the show. And I was doing a best of video. I was doing top 10s, top 5s. I was getting them set, and I was going to put them out as a little series. I ran into a problem. Like the best of Daryl Dixon, the best moments, I was adding video clips from the scenes, from the TV show. Actual video clips, not sound, well, some of them because of some funny moments he said verbally. But for the most part, I was talking over as showing you the scenes and explaining why they were so great. Even some scenes that are easily looked over, you know. Trying to add some depth to that style. When I post these videos, before I even make them public, AMC is blocking them. And I mean, they're blocking them in 280 countries. So there's a lot of people in the Matt family that can't even watch them. So I'm going to ask you guys, until I can figure out how to stop AMC from doing that. And again, I'm not posting the whole episode. We're talking about little clips. But until I can figure that out, do you guys mind if I do those videos with still images only? I don't want it to just be me sitting here talking to you guys. I want to add a little more depth to these kind of videos, like the top 10 scenes or what. But I wanted you to see it, see what I'm talking about. But since I can't do that without getting a damn claim on the video, do you guys mind if I just use still pictures? Please let me know down in the comment box. Let's get right into the questions. First question, Scott Pilgrim. Ronnie, in the comic, Negan went from person to person, telling them why he won't kill them, race card, leader, etc. Do you think this was skipped over in the finale and will be shown in the premiere? Also, Negan saying, bring him up. Listen, I don't know if it's going to be in the premiere, but I do strongly feel that it might just be in the extended scene for the Blu-ray. It has to be extended, right? So it might not just be an uncensored version. They might actually swap the scenes where Negan is saying, in the uncensored extended edition, he might say, oh, I'm not going to kill you. I don't want to be a racist. I can't kill you because you're a leader. You'll be a martyr and your people will never follow me because they'll always look up to the fact that you died for them, yada, yada, yada. And he might even do that, dropping a whole lot of F-bombs. So they might swap it, like I said, with the TV show. All we got is Negan talking to Carl about the gun, Negan talking to Rick about you're not safe, and then telling Abraham he has to shave this shit. It was very tame compared to the comic, so I think it might actually be in the Blu-ray. Travis Rev Stevens. Since Rick and Michonne are together, do you think Ezekiel will get with Carol? No, I don't. I don't believe we need that. In the comic, it was somewhat artificial, and I think it was unnecessary to a degree. Because we have this new character, Ezekiel, we really care for Michonne. When she connected, we kind of built this artificial connection, and then they made him kind of weak. In the show, they just need to throw that weak shit out of the way. Ezekiel visually looks awesome. He has a fucking tiger. Make him cool. Make him an ally to Rick Grimes. And we don't need, any romance. We will love him for him. Done. I strongly feel that. Believe that. Jeff Atwood. Do you think Spencer will die this season? And will he get his comic Spencer's death? Yes. And yes. Joe Cool. Do you think the Saviors will take a Polaroid of the aftermath of Negan's victim? Now, we saw Glenn looking at the Polaroids of the victim, but I personally believe the person taking the Polaroids most likely hung them up, and he hung them up where he was sleeping, so I think Glenn killed him. I don't think we're going to get any Polaroid. We might. It's possible. But I think we might get a joke instead from Negan, a very insensitive joke about Glenn or Rick and them killing the person who took the Polaroids. Maybe one of the people say, hey, where's Danny? Bring him up. Get a picture of this shit. And Negan's like, no, those fuckers killed him. Something that was weak. But you know what I mean. Negan asked, what event from the comic do you think the mid-season finale is going to be? Ooh, that's rough. I haven't even looked. I've been taking a break because I don't want my opinions of season 6 to kind of taint the writing style or my assumed writing style of what they're going to bring us for season 7. I wanted to take a break and go into it fresh, okay, and not burnt out. So I haven't even looked at how they'll adapt it from the comic to the screen, but I'll tell you right now off the top of my head, I truly believe, just looking at the pacing alone, that the shift in pacing in Season 6, we will end the mid-season finale of Season 7 with something that confirms this is it for Rick and gang. They are going to overthrow Negan. Not like they're immediately, right now, they're going to go attack him right in this moment, but I think it will be uniting a new alliance, coming together, and the moment where some epic thing happens and you're like, oh shit, you know, it's on. Rick and Negan are going to go head to head. I strongly believe that. Because look, a lot of people are focused on Rick Grimes being on his knees at the end of Season 6 and the beginning of Season 7. We might, and they're forgetting, there's a really strong possibility. We might actually begin Season 6 with Rick on his knees, but we might actually end it with Negan on his. And I think that is a freaking awesome way to pace out and play out that story. But you never know, they might slow the pacing down. Anyway, Rinaldi Calixte? I tried. What do you predict will happen when Carol and Morgan meet Ezekiel? That's really loaded. There's so much that's going to happen. But I think they're going to save Carol's life. Will Morgan and Carol reach some sort of understanding about killing? Again, that's another complicated one. Listen, you're asking good questions, but these two right here need their own video, 4 or 5 minute video. There's so much to discuss. I think it's going to be slow. I don't think it'll be immediate. I don't think it's going to be 1 or 2 episodes. I think this is something they're both going to have to deal with over the course of maybe the full season. So that is tricky. What role do you see the Kingdom playing on the show in Season 7? Oh, that's easy. To summarize, an ally to Rick and gang, I feel. Listen, good questions though, but those, I don't want to breeze over it and make it seem like they weren't good questions. Really good questions, but I would have to dedicate a whole video, I feel, right off the top of my head, to really dig deep into some of those answers. And we will. Coming up, Charlie Romeo. Ronnie, in the Walking Dead Season 6 finale, does Eugene sell out the survivors? You know what? That is possible, but I feel like it really takes away from the progress they have made with Eugene. I feel like the Saviors had people with walkies at different ends of the road, and they simply knew. They were like, oh, you know what? We got the van coming back. We'll stop it now. I think they went into the woods, or they could have seen him, you know? I don't know. I just don't want Eugene to sell them out. I think it hurts the progress. Andrew Spencer. Ronnie, a lot of people are creating this new theory that Daryl will lead the Saviors in the new beginning, and Dwight will be killed. Can you please put this theory to rest and explain that Dwight has that storyline for a reason, and if it was just given to Daryl because fans destroyed a part of the storyline? Listen, I feel your frustration, and I know we went through this already where when fans said that Daryl will turn into Dwight, but just think about how ludicrous that sounds. You have a character who is in the perfect position, Dwight, to actually, leave us in a state of uncertainty as to whether or not he's going to go against Negan and help Rick. And then you have Daryl, who we know, no matter what happens, he's always going to pick Rick. Like, that takes away all the tension. You guys are robbing the tension out of that shit. Knock it off. Alright, moving on. Daryl will not become Dwight. Daryl is Daryl, Dwight is Dwight. Let's end this bullshit. Justin, and I mean that playing around, but also dead serious. That's not going to happen. Quote me on it. Justin Curry, what episode do you think Rick will get to meet Ezekiel at the Kingdom and find out that Carol and Morgan are there? Listen, here's one thing real quick I want to say. They have already built up this beautiful thing with the Kingdom already, if they stick with it. I think it's perfect because in the comic, Rick blindly accepts Ezekiel. It was just easy. It was a little too easy. But for some reason in the comic it fit because Negan's scheme to trap them wasn't so elaborate. You know what I mean? But seeing how elaborate it was on the show, there's a chance Rick could seriously be like, yeah, you know what? This is Ezekiel guy. I don't fucking trust him. Why should I trust him? Negan might have his hooks in. And then you can have Carol and Morgan perfect. They could be like, listen, Rick, no, he saved Carol's life. These are good people. They want to get out from underneath the rule of Negan. They already have people that were starting to. Saviors hunted them down and slit their throats, and that's where Rick and Morgan were at. I think it's set up beautifully to give backstory to their fight they already started. If they already started a fight, right, an underground fight, kind of a hidden under the radar fight, or maybe starting to boil to the surface, if Ezekiel's already starting that and Rick Grimes comes in there and it's confirmed with people he trusts, Carol and Morgan, he trusts them. If they confirm that to Rick Grimes, it's set up too perfect to not go that route, I feel. As far as when will Rick meet Ezekiel, it's got to definitely be in a few episodes. They have to do the aftermath of the death, the funeral. They have to do all that. And then maybe Jesus comes and tells Rick, hey, you know, you're Carol, Morgan, they are at this place called the Kingdom. It's time to go meet Ezekiel. And then we do the introduction. So I'm guessing maybe episode 4 at the earliest. As far as when we will see Ezekiel, shit, they could show him in the premiere episode. Chances are the premiere should stay focused on Negan. It would be shitty to stall getting into that, you know? But yeah, anyway, I love it. I love what they got built up so far, and you could kind of see the pieces together, but I'm nervous they're not going to go that direction. They could go a different direction. That would be awesome. I'm going to shut up. Johnny Boy 63. Ronnie, do you think in season 7, after the death scene, if Glenn doesn't die, only to discover her baby has died, which leads to the hatred of Negan, which replaces the hatred and the leadership she gains in the comic? Listen, I know a lot of people, you want a reason for Maggie to hate Negan. I know that is the case, and they want it so clear. Like, you know, this. She loses Glenn. She loses the baby. But I think it can be something a little more subtle and definitely something that can absolutely impact her life. She's pregnant right now. Her and Glenn right now, I think their biggest goal, you know, their greatest desire is to raise a family, is to rebuild life. Negan, you know, stands in the way of that. Just his existence, just him ruling this place the way he has been ruling it, that's very problematic to them raising a child. So I think that's all the motivation Maggie needs, you know? Just the simple fact of bringing this child into this world under Negan's rule. Nah, he must be stopped. And I think that's where Maggie's gonna, and I think it plays beautifully if she's at the Kingdom because they need a doctor, and she's like, I can't bring a child into this world under this man's rule. It's not gonna happen. So, anyway, last question. Jackson Films, do you think All Out War will be at the end of this season, or do you think it will be in the start of Season 8? I think All Out War will be in Season 8. I think we're going to do the aftermath in the beginning of Season 7. Communities will unite, and then I think to the end of Season 7, we will lead towards everything exploding and go into All Out War. Alright guys, rules in the description. Also leave your thoughts and opinions of everything we talked about in this video down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.